Hi everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums, the Knowledge Nexus Talks, a LinkedIn Live session episode 187. And today we are discussing on the topic of the ethical edge, AI, privacy, and human side of cybersecurity. To have this topic discussed, we have Mr. Sandiip Bansal, a dynamic CIO, delivering results through digital transformation and agile leadership. Without further ado, let's bring Sandeep Bansal on to the podcast event. Hi, sir.
Hi, sir. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good.
Sir, a small intro about yourself to
About
the
yours
audience,
to
sir.
the audience, sir. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Myself Sandeep Bansal. I have more than 2 decades of experience in driving digital transformation, managing infrastructure, cybersecurity for the large and small enterprise. I have been driving various initiatives in the industry, working with the multiple verticals. I have worked with the ITITS, I have worked with manufacturing, oil and gases, transport sector, and higher education. So my role is where I try to help my leadership to take a right decision by data-driven decision making and working with the stakeholders to ensure we get a resilient and redundant transformation for the organization, adding a growth and cost optimization on top of it.
Sir, thank you for that, sir.
Sir,
Uh,
thank you for that,
we'll
sir.
dive into the we'll dive into the topic now.
Uh,
Sir, how do you see your role playing uh, stronger cyber security, building cyber security as a stronger systems in the cyber security arena, sir?
So my role is, Mr. Prem. Now the time is changing, where things are getting digitized day by day. And if you see every organization, they are looking towards bringing a new application. The point is not they want a digital transformation for their organization just to beat the competition. It has become a necessity because
Hmm.
if you see the agility in the business, the growth in the business, it is driven with the digitization. There was a time when we used to have cash. I frankly speaking, I don't remember when I had cash in my pocket. I move very smoothly with my mobile anywhere and everywhere. Now, as a infrastructure and digital transformation leader, it is our responsibility to ensure that we make our organization as well as our people aware about the security threats which is coming in. So I feel we are very much responsible to guide our organization, help our team, our end users from the cybersecurity threats. It is not only the organization level, even on their personal level. So I feel we have a responsibility behind making a secure system around us for the benefit of the organization and the team.
Sir, great thoughts there. Because as leaders, we need to look at how do we build stronger systems. I think cyber security or security is not going to be a one-day journey, right? So we need to look at how it takes. We share moment. Human element helped solve a critical challenge, sir.
So human element and the security is very important because if I see today whether we become resilient or we bring any automation into the system, anything goes, everything is not it has to run around the human because we need a validation. Any system is not having a validation which a human has to do. So if I see from the cybersecurity point of view, uh, the human element are two types, right? One is from the hacker side and another is from our side. So hackers are becoming more resilient day by day. They are 10 times ahead than us. What we think, they things beyond our imagination. So our human or our team, they have to be ready to face these kind of consequences. So how to do is that we have to make them aware of what kind of new techniques of threats are coming, what kind of new kind of attacks are happening, and this human element is very important from this point of view. Now coming to the security point of view, I can put any kind of firewall, any kind of system, any kind of primitive security around my information system. But I believe still the automation is not reached that level that they can take a decision on a critical, there is any attack, and that is critical system. It requires a human interference to take decision. So the human element is very much important in our building a strong cybersecurity system.
Sir, wanted to understand how do we balance between security systems and respecting user privacy in today's AI-driven world, sir?
See, first of all, there's a very important point which is required at this stage. As our systems are growing, our digital footprints are growing. The same thing is data is also growing. So we have first of all create a line between the privacy and the enterprise application. So what happens is what data is belongs to the user and what data belongs to the enterprise. This is one part which I believe is very, very important in the identifying from the data standpoint of view. So it is very now everything or anything cannot be done by the CIO or CTO or CISO. I believe there is a very important layer which an organ has to build with the help of aligning one DPO who has to basically segregate what kind of data is required to safeguard and user privacy point of view. Now coming to the AI standpoint. So currently when we are talking about the AI, so definitely from last 6-7 months, it is not like AI was not present in past, but generative AI has totally become a game changer. Now, when we are introducing AI in our system, we need to have a proper governance in place so that there is a right set of people those can define what should be the policies required to safeguard the privacy of the user.
Sir, what could be the or what has been the biggest issue or lesson learned from
What has
cybersecurity breach?
the biggest issue? The biggest lesson I believe I have learned is that we have to be proactive, not reactive. Because I see in many cases what happens, the action is taken after the breach has happened. I would like to share one of the example. There was a case where the ransomware attack has happened in our organization. Rather, it is not one. There are three ransomware attack happened, and during that time it was Diwali holidays and there was a week, and you know how it works. So hacker has attacked our complete system. They brought our website down. Our ERP was compromised, and our financial data was compromised. All the three aspects were compromised. Now, how we safeguarded it? Because while at the time of designing the entire architecture, we are aware that there can be chances of sabotaging my security layer. There can be chances of some critical failures can happen. So we ensure that there should be rigorous data backup happening on daily, monthly and weekly basis. So in any scenario that data backup is happening, and there is a alert notification and monitoring is continuously happening. So that was the time when this kind of attack happened, and we came to know within 20 minutes of, because the 24/7 team was alert, and they came to know that it has happened. We isolated our system and brought our data back from the backups. So we lost around 1 hour of data, and we were active immediately. So here the biggest lesson is we have to be proactive rather than reactive, because any incident will happen, and it will not ring a bell to you that I am coming. So you have to be ready for that kind of scenario.
You made a point is that
You made a point is that
uh, any critical thing that
any
happens,
critical thing
is
that
what to look
happens,
at the organization structure and the way that
organization
we
structure and the way that we
adopt to tackle it, right,
adopt
sir?
to tackle it, right, sir? Yeah.
Yeah. So in that scenario, can you share one pointer where you uh, you or the organization
For the
fall
organization
into
fall into
the AI and privacy
privacy.
pitfall, which you can say?
So it's actually a very interesting topic, because when I try to implement my the digital transformation architecture in my last organization, so I can see that future is about AI. So we had created a layer of adopting the AI from the start. The point when we are trying to bring AI into the scenario, so there are multiple data category. So because data categorization is very, very important when you are creating any kind of this integration of such application. So financial data, our institutional data, and there are certain data which is important from the legal point of view, agreements. Okay, so there are so many such kind of data was available. So the question come in, if you are going to bring the AI into the picture, how we are going to safeguard it? Point number one. Point number two is that what is going to be my privacy? When I say privacy, so the data lying in my laptop, okay, it belongs to me. But I differ in this point. I will come to that. So what is going to happen? The privacy. So I suggested that there are mechanisms. Right? When I say mechanism, we have to classify the data which can be part of AI or which cannot be part of AI. Second thing is, who is going to decide it? So we need to have a governance board who should be taking care of this AI data integration with privacy policy. Because when I'm saying the data belongs to me in the laptop, but my question is that why my personal data is lying in my laptop? There should be organizational data. Third thing which is coming here is that the privacy. If I see from the our country point of view, the privacy laws, policies, and other privacy laws, which is internationally acclaimed, we are trying to safeguard those policies and implementing it. The adoption and change, bringing every stakeholder on the same is a challenge. So I will try to say that the things were still in discussion, not be reached to a conclusion part. But I am trying to say that pitfall in organization, common pitfall is we have to come to some sense which is beneficial for user as well as for the organization. Understanding the privacy of the user, understanding the critical data of the organization with the help of a DPO and a governance board.
Sir, now we are talking about AI in every place. Isn't it? What's one AI trend
One,
in cybersecurity that business cannot
business
ignore?
cannot ignore. So, if I say about the AI trend, the threat detection and response system which AI is bringing is actually, if I see, is a very good thing. Now, as the organization is growing, a manual, monitoring of each and everything is not possible. So AI has a very beautifully that it can keep an eye 24/7 and let us know what kind of threats are happening. But as per experience, there are always false positive. So I believe that those has to be trained as per organization requirement, because whatever the solution we are going to use in organization, they may not be fit as per your organization practices. So one significant trend is AI empowered threat detection and response system that should be released with the right set of training done for that system to manage your threat detection. Also, there is another thing which I would like to say is that it is going to minimize the cyber attack. But another thing I also need to understand is uh, to fight with the AI attack. I think humanly it is impossible for us to manage. So AI can only help us to mitigate that attack as well.
Okay. Uh, one pointer where I was thinking is that
Uh,
how
one
can we
pointer where I was thinking is that can we
AI can truly help small business to secure their
AI
operations
can truly
without
help small business to
breaking
secure
the
their
bank.
operations without taking the bank.
So, Mr. Prem, what happens for a large organization spending on teams and having uh, people focused to manage their security is easy at time, right? They can spend that money, and for a small business, it is not possible. So, I think the AI solutions which is coming to the market, I visited this year RSA conference, and I can see the kind of new solutions coming, which is empowered by AI, and to help us at a minimal cost to manage our security system. So the data in real time identification of threats, mitigating their, you know, swiftly is easy using these tools. But yes, we should really analyze what kind of tool is required to us. And today, I feel there is a lot of solution in the market, and anybody can afford it.
You told one important
Told
point is
one
AI
important
can
point
be
is AI
affordable.
can be
You're
affordable.
right, sir. There are a lot of
Right.
tools
Part
that
of
have come up. And the other challenge that we see is these
challenge that we
tools
see is these
some
tools
path or some guidance is to be
some
put across
guidance is to
because
be put across because
we don't have one tool
we don't
catering
have one
for
tool catering for
or we cannot
or
monitor
we cannot monitor
all of them at a central
all of them
dashboard
at a
level.
central dashboard
That's
level.
right.
Yes.
That's the difference.
That's that.
How do you
How do
encourage
you encourage
teams to think out of the
teams to
box
think out of the
when
box
tackling
when
cybersecurity
setting
threats?
security threats?
As I said, uh, the hackers are 10 times ahead than us. So we have to think differently. And to make our team think out of the box, we have to keep them, out of the uh, pressure which they are going through by of incidents, a lot of things happening. So in my view, that the team burnout should be handled is one thing, which is very because large organizations with many applications with so many users, customers, the threats and incident happens on a daily basis. False positive and actual incidents, sometimes it is not been reported. So they have to be on edge of it. So implementing some automation and AI, they can help to you know save the burnout of the team. We have to encourage them to attend various conferences and webinars because if you ask me, I have been updated through the webinars and the conferences. If I go and it becomes very difficult. But if we are not be able to manage the threat which is coming, so we encourage them to have an open discussion. We ask them to attend the webinars and then share so that all the team members they can be having a visibility what is happening.
So, what could be one
So
challenge
what could
you
be
faced
one challenge you face
which completely reshaped the perspective on cybersecurity, sir?
completely reshape the perspective on cybersecurity?
So I will that there was a outburst of an incident where one of the team member, he was walking, was offboarded from the road. After a couple of days, quarters, I realized that there was an incident reported by one of the director. He told that I have received one, bounce back mail, but I have never sent that mail to anybody. Now that was a suspicious. We checked anything, but that mail was never sent to that mail ID. We investigated, and later we realized the person who was offboarded 6 months back, he got a password of his colleague. Rather, they share the password. So one very good beauty, like human factor, you said. So trust factor, they have shared the password, and he has put a forwarder to his mail ID while leaving the organization. Now, kind of thing which is like, now you ask, no, but this is a security breach, and we were not ready about it. And when this kind of thing happened, then we realized, so forwarder was being blocked for all the organization, and any forwarder is required, need a specific justification, and we know that who has applied the forwarder. So these kind of perspective, when you see those are the shocking incident, then you understand that it is not only when you talk somebody has attacked you by ransomware attack, malware, spyware. Somebody sitting, next to you is doing this kind of activity. So I think this kind of thing has literally changed my perspective.
Right, sir. At times we
Right,
trust the
sir. At
trust is
times
breached
we
so
trust the
badly
trust is breached so badly that
Yes, yes.
we
uh,
get into these
we
kind of
get
situations.
into these kind of situations.
Yes.
Sir, what advice would
Sir,
you give to
give
leaders trying to foster a culture of
culture
uh,
of
empathy in tech teams and
empathy in
cybersecurity
tech
teams?
teams and cybersecurity.
So, as a leader, I feel it is our responsibility to, celebrate the small successes of our team, and we should, encourage our team to think out of the box. The question as you asked, because in many cases, when I see the teams are not able to speak in front of their, leaders, so there should be an open to understand what kind of new avenues, new challenges we can face, and what can be the solution can come in. And these kind of things should happen very frequently. It should not be like, we call a town hall meeting of in a, 6 months or a year, but at the time you see the case of technology enhancement is happening. So we should have this kind of, maybe in a quarter or maybe monthly basis, depending upon the scenario. I believe there should be more competition. So it should not be like the competition, uh, given some challenges to think beyond their comfort zone. So those should be conducted within the team, and they should be appraised out of it. So these kind of things, if we bring within the team and give them the comfort that we are standing behind you, whatever may be the challenge. I would like to give you one very small example. There was a attack happened, and it was a severe attack. Data got compromised. However, IT team was working on it, but eventually the organization fired the IT manager, analyzing that he has not done his duty. But to be very honest, if you are having a security guard sitting out of your house and he is wake up during the night time, and I can say the thief was more smarter, so he could do it. But I cannot blame my security guard. Okay, so he can be wise next time. He can be alert next time. We should be giving the chance to the people.
Right, sir, saying that
Right, sir, saying
the,
that
it
it
becomes a responsibility of the entire
responsibility
organization.
of the entire organization.
Collective responsibility.
Uh, in
Uh,
that,
in that,
yeah, so
yeah,
in that context,
in context,
what one quick
what one
win
win
we can implement in,
implement
what is
is,
one
or what is
solution
one
that they can
solution
implement
that they can implement
or improve
or
in their
improve
cybersecurity
in
journey?
their cybersecurity journey?
I say that there is no one solution, or I can say there is no jack of all trade. So what happens is it is a ever growing continuous process, right? It will keep on evolving. We have to keep learning. But the most important part is that continuous awareness campaign is very important. What I did in my past organizations is that we started running a continuous awareness campaign. So the awareness campaign was, sending one message every week on his mail, and that message has to be very beautiful so that he would like to see to it. Second thing, the message should not take more than 7 seconds for that person. He should just see the message and he got the message. So we started this practice, and it was very well acclaimed, and people appreciated it. So because what happens is, I know I need to wear the helmet while driving, but sometimes I ignore it. But if I'm seeing a message every time, if you don't wear the helmet, you can meet the accident, you can hurt. So somewhere going out, I will say, okay, let us put the helmet. Why to take a risk? So that kind of thing we are trying to send messages. So for example, the awareness campaign was created. So when we created this campaign, it was not sending a mail. Even on a weekly basis, we were putting some big poster on the notice board of the department. So whenever, wherever they are going, they are seeing there is a cyber threat, and you should be alert. So as you rightly said, it is a collective responsibility. So if we are not getting to know the incident happening, we will not be able to safeguard ourselves. So that's the way I think we can involve everyone into this activity.
Yeah, and you said one point is continuous training. Yeah, right. And the other point
Yes.
that you look at is
Look at it.
uh, daily some kind of an
Daily
awareness
some kind of an aware
thing saying that there is a ransomware or there is a threat which is come notice board, and some kind of uh, knowledge sharing or
knowledge
the
sharing or
trends that are happening helps the team to understand cybersecurity sites more better, I think. How do you explain a complex AI-driven security solutions to a non-technical decision maker?
So it is a little tricky, but at times when you are dealing with the leaders, those are not security. They are not very tech savvy. So we have to give them some layman example. So for example, if you talk about uh, if I have to ask my leader that I need to get this kind of definitely I'm going to share them the aspect. If you are having a security guard in your organization and he's sitting virtually and he says, I will monitor seeing the camera sitting at home, will it be possible that he can secure your gates? So he may be able to understand. So I think we have to break down the solution in the language. I today, as we are talking now, if I start using the jargon, the audience sitting here, it is going to be a mix of technical and non-technical people, which I think. So, it on my part, if I am speaking something and people are not able to get it. So, similarly, when I am going to present my scenario in the front of my leaders and they are non-technical, I would definitely like to put some kind of use case which can give the clear understanding what I'm trying to say, because this is very, very important to get the better truth.
What you said is most of
is
the
the
pointers need to be spoken in a business
better
language rather
spoken
than
in
a
a
simple
language
language,
than
right? So that we understand.
so
Yes.
that
And
we understand.
so you put
And
perspective
so
to that is
perspective to that
invaluable.
is invaluable.
How can leaders
How
be
can leaders be
teams to view
teams
cybersecurity
view
as a
cybersecurity
human-centric rather than
human
just a
centric
technical.
rather than just technical.
See, what happens, I just share you one example. Anything or everything, it is, there's a human involved, right? If I say there's a spyware attack happen, so there was a human who has, planned this spyware, planted in my machine. So the person who is using human as working on the machine, and he's not knowing that somebody is sitting in his machine and doing all this activity. So the solution has to be human centric from multiple point. First of all, if I am not aware that clicking this link can encrypt my entire data, it can be I can lose my entire work, and it can be a loss for the organization. So there are three things has to be taught to the human. Is one is the cost of the data, because today data has a lot of cost. Second thing, how can it impact to the reputation of the organization? Because data loss is not only one thing, the reputation loss is also a very big thing, because the client, the customer attached to that organization, they feel themselves vulnerable because they feel that their privacy can also be breached. Third thing is that the human should be able to report it without any second thought. So my solution should not be so complicated, the reporting become so difficult. So the human centric is where they can be easily able to understand, they can have a visibility the attack when the kind of mail or some information is floating, whether it is really an incident or just the usual practice. Third, the incident reporting, either it should be automated or it should be very simpler, so that he can raise the incident and security team can take care of it.
Can you hear me, sir? Yes.
Now I can hear you. I lost for a few seconds, couple of seconds.
Okay. What role does trust
What
play
role
in
does
creating
trust play
resilient
in creating
cybersecurity framework?
resilient cybersecurity framework?
So trust is the most important thing in the entire system, because if you if I say from the end user point of view, while we are implementing any policy, we have to be very transparent in front of the teams. We should be able to share our stakeholder what kind of implementation we are doing, because they need to be trusted. Because if we are implementing some policies and it is going to impact the business, that is not a good practice. So the solution should be around the business continuity. It should not impact the business. Second thing is, when we are working with the team, we cannot do a kind of spying or you know uh, keep person. So that trust is required to be built on the people those are managing our incident. Uh, Third very important part is the application. Say we are bringing a third party application or AI in term. So AI is, I'm not built the AI. Okay, I'm going to use some accelerator belongs to some of third party application. If I have a trust on that application, how I will be able to implement that accelerator? So trust plays a very vital role in the security. At least it is very important that uh, the management, stakeholders, users, and our partners, we should have a trust bonding within us to have a win-win situation.
You made an important, sir.
You
You made an
made an
important
important
point.
you made an important point.
So when
So
trust is
when
not there, it
trust
is very
is not
difficult
there,
for
it
us
is
to
very
run
difficult
a
for us to run
cybersecurity
a
implementation or monitoring of a
implementation or
cybersecurity
monitoring of a cybersecurity
system, right?
system,
So
right?
Right.
So uh,
trust plays a very
trust
crucial
plays a
role
very
in
crucial role
not
in
only
not only
cybersecurity teams but whole
cybersecurity teams, but
organization. What I
whole
think.
organization. What I
Yes.
think.
Right.
Yeah. So how do
Yeah.
you?
So
So
how do you
simplify
so
where
simplify
employees take
where
privacy
employees take
seriously in a day-to-day
privacy
roles.
seriously in a day-to-day roles?
So, ensuring employees take privacy seriously is a very crucial for maintaining data security and compliance. The objective has to integrate privacy awareness into employees' daily routine. As we were talking about running, campaigns, okay, engaging in training sessions for them. I have their own LMS system or the activities being learning and training department. They run various activity for the organization for the users, out of which POSH is very common certification which is required for every individual employee to pass on. So in my view, to making a employee to understand his data and organizational data and what are the criticality of cybersecurity, there should be some certificates or the learning mechanism should be put into the system so that they can have a visibility what they are doing. So one is we are sending a message which is visible around, but second thing is there should be self-learning tutorials available for the employees to understand that what kind of data is they need to secure. Third, very very important part is that when we are creating policies for data security policies or we are implementing any tool, AI tool, there should be a clear definition what is the privacy policies which is required to be implemented and how from the security point of view we have to take care of it, and what is the responsibility of the individual employee to ensure their privacy is also not breached.
So it
So
becomes their own
it becomes
responsibility to
their own
manage their own
responsibility to
data.
manage
That is
their
one
own
thing.
data. That is
And
one thing.
some
And
guidance on how
some
to
guidance on how
handle
to handle
data management is one thing that
data
you are
management is
suggesting.
one
Am I
thing
right
that
in
we
saying
are
this?
suggesting. Am I right in saying this?
Yes.
So, what habit has
What habit has
helped you to stay
helped
ahead
you
in the
stay
ever-evolving
ahead in the
cybersecurity
ever-evolving
landscape?
cybersecurity landscape?
So first is that I am passionate about technology. So that is one of the habit I will say. And second is I have been a part of many community and groups where we keep on discussing various challenges which is coming. I really, I feel whatever you done after joining a job, it is from your day-to-day activity, from your organization, or from your peers. But there is a very important component: is the podcast, conferences, and various events which is coming in. And I made it very clear whenever we are getting any such kind of interesting conference, we should attend it because those conferences are basically very good knowledge sharing sessions, and you get to know what is happening around you. Because when you are in your organization with the pile of work on your table and lot of I if I ask any of my peer, he has hundred of jobs, whether it is transformation, whether it is new technology coming in, whether the infrastructure upgrade, license renewals. So hardly you get a time while you are sitting in your office to look around. So I make a practice in the daily. I at least spend half an hour to understand and learn what new is happening, and plus remain active in the various groups to understand if there is something I missed out, I can get it from the other people.
Sir, can you share
Sir,
one
can you share
one resource
one
or
source
book
or book
or a mentor who
or
can
a mentor who
influence
can
your approach to
influence your
AI
approach
and
to
privacy?
AI and privacy?
So saying one person may be a little difficult because I think it's a vast knowledge, ocean of knowledge. But yes, I can refer one organizations. They have in last 1.5 years conducted many informating session. So I have attended many conferences organized by IDC, and those conferences was having very good speakers. The data shared by the conference was very detailed, and we can understand in which vertical what is happening. So it has become a very good point to understand on the AI what is future of AI, how we can safeguard us. Even if I refer that DPDPA, right? There was a buzzword, and now it has got silent for some time. But at that time also we did a lot of roundtable discussion to understand what is happening. So peer groups we discuss a lot. So that helped me a lot, and changed my approach on AI. And there, that is where I could get a way that you should not be fear of missing out when you are implementing AI. AI will come. AI has to come. You can't escape out of it. It's better
Okay.
you understand and adopt it. That is very important. So that's why we started this journey.
Okay. How could
How could
or
or
if you could change
if you
one
could
thing in the
change one
organization
thing in
on
the
the approach of
organization on the approach
cybersecurity,
of cybersecurity,
what could it be, sir?
what would it be, sir?
Cybersecurity is not an exception. It's must. So every organization has their budget for multiple things. There should be a fixed budget for the security,
Hmm.
and it should not be like we should learn from our leadership, the country leadership. If you see 10 years back, the security budget for India was very less, but over the time in last 10
Hmm.
years it has increased uh, and we have been able to safeguard ourselves, and we are building up so many security equipments within the country. Now when we want to secure ourselves, right, nobody, whether it is a CIO, CISO, whosoever, if he doesn't have the tools, he doesn't have the people, he doesn't have team, or more over and above, he doesn't have the fund, he will not be able to safeguard you. So
Hmm.
I feel that organizations should have very specific security budget aligned for safeguarding their data and the privacy, as we are talking about. Going forward, when the AI is coming, AI is as more like which is working on certain algorithm, right? It is not in control of anyone. So when it is going to start working, we have to be more proactive. So funds
Yeah.
will be required. The budget, the leadership should have a very focused approach towards the cybersecurity.
What's
What
one
one
vision for the future
for
of
the
cybersecurity
future
with
of
AI
cybersecurity with
leading the
AI
change
leading the
or
change
the charge? Right.
or the charge, right?
So, and the reason, if I talk about just like a sci-fi movie, so AI is going to rule. It is for sure. If I would say that I don't want to adopt it, I don't want to give my notion data, I don't want to use it. The word is behind it, and it will come. There is no escape out. Only thing is that we have to ensure how we want to use it. As we mentioned ethical use. So when we are creating an awareness on the AI, we should understand that there should be principles behind what we want to give to AI, what we should not give it. These are the certain things I think through which we can safeguard us. Uh, uh, Tomorrow, if I say uh, in 96 when I started using computer, people were thinking no one's going to, we are not going to use it. The computer will not come. 2000 Y2K came. Banking thought that it is going to collapse, but it is still there.
Yeah.
So if somebody is thinking that AI is not going to take the charge, it is going to take the charge. It is going to change the way of working. It is going to bring automation in our life. Only point which we have to think is how to use it rightly. That is
Okay.
most important.
So with this, we
So with
come to
this,
the end
we
of the
come to the
session.
end of the session.
I'll just do a
I'll just do
summarizing
a
on what we
summarizing
discussed
on
today.
what we discussed.
We spoke about the
We
human side
spoke
of
about the human side
cybersecurity,
of cybersecurity,
challenges and lessons learned,
challenges and lessons learned,
industry trends and out
industry
of box
trends and out
thinking,
of box thinking,
leadership and empathy,
leadership and empathy,
practical insights,
practical
personal
insights,
growth and career,
personal growth and career,
and last but not
and
the
last
least,
but not
some
the
things
least,
on
some
career
things
and
on
inspiration
career and
towards
inspiration toward
privacy safeguarding part
privacy
and the vision
safeguarding
for the
part
future.
and the vision for the future.
Sir, any pointer that you would like to add as a
Any
concluding
pointer
thought?
that you would like to add, including
I would like to add only one important point is it is today technology has become a way of our life. It's now into the every home, and India is front marching on the technology adoption as well. So I'm sure that as a tech leader, it's become our responsibility that we should be guiding our people around us, good and bad part of everything, right? So when we talk good and bad part, so if we are talking AI is coming, so it also have a flip side of it.
Hmm.
So more we are going to bring the good part of it, the people will understand and they will be definitely going to adopt it. If you see on the negative side, anything on the consumption of higher side is bad. Whether you drink a lot of water, that is also not good for your health. So we should be considerable, and change is inevitable, and we cannot escape out of it. So we should adopt it.
With this, thank you, sir. Thank you for
thank you, sir.
being a
Thank you for being here,
Thank
part
you.
of the
part
podcast.
of the podcast.
We have
We
streamlined
have
this live to
streamlined
YouTube,
live to
yeah,
YouTube,
Facebook, Twitter,
Facebook,
and Instagram.
Twitter, and
We hope
Instagram.
the discussion was
The
valuable.
discussion
Thank
was
you for
valuable.
joining us
Thank you for
on LinkedIn
joining
Live
us
today.
on LinkedIn Live
Our
today.
next
Our
podcast
next podcast
is on tomorrow,
is on
and the
tomorrow,
episode
and the
is about
episode
180
is
views.
about
So it's
180
good.
views. So it's good.
We are talking on a
We are
topic
talking on
called
a topic
loyalty,
called
what drives
loyalty,
repeat
what drives
business
repeat business.
at 6:30
At
p.m. IST
6:30 p.m.
tomorrow. Looking forward to
tomorrow.
see you
Look
again.
forward to
Good
see
day.
you again.
Bye
Good
for
day.
now.
Bye for now.
Sir, good day, sir. Bye
Good day,
for now.
sir.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you.